To start with, I'd like to mention the tools you'll need to set up the system. Actually, this is all you'll need, and it's provided. It's a 3/32 Allen wrench. You could use a T10 screwdriver or a T10 screw tip mounted into a screwdriver. So, that's all you'll need. Now, the next thing you have to make sure you have is at least 1 inch here. You need to have from here to here 1 inch, because 1 inch is the width of the universal base's base. You want to maybe leave a little bit of extra room in case you want to mark a corresponding point on your universal base to this line here, which a lot of scopes have. If yours doesn't, give yourself a mark here that will correspond to a mark that you will put here once you finish your setup, and we'll get to that later. So the quick setup is you first take, so one more thing. You might want to protect this area here because you might be moving your universal base back and forth a few times. What I prefer to use is a dry lube. It's a dry Teflon lube. You can get it at a bike shop, etc. The other thing you can use is a vinyl strip, and you can get those at a project shop, or some hardware stores carry them. You separate the white from the black vinyl, and then you stick it on here. Make sure that it doesn't overlap. It's better if it was a little bit shorter than longer, because then it could jam. The only problem that might occur with this is when you want to take it off, it could be a bit of a pain. So you might have to shave it off carefully and then clean the leftover glue with acetone. I've had to do it a few times, and you can see that there's no damage here, but it was for the sake of demonstration because I really personally prefer the dry lube, and I've done this here hundreds of times, and you can see it's not damaged. The only reason why it's shiny is because of the dry lube. So what I do is I put a drop here, and I can show you. I just put a drop here and I smear it. I put a drop here and I smear that as well, and just a little bit on the bottom of the universal base. You're done, and I mean you're done. You don't need to do that again. Next step is you take your clamp or strap, as you choose to call it. You take the short screws. If the kit didn't come with it already together, you will notice that you have 2 different lengths of screws. One is short and one is longer. The short ones go into the base, the universal base. The longer ones hold the red dot scope. They belong to that clamp. So I suggest, for a quick setup, you place all 4 screws in. Well, you might be able to do it quicker than me, but, well, there you have it. So, whether you are left eye or right eye dominant, it matters not. You can put the red dot scope in, so that step is taken care of. You put it upside down against your rifle scope tube, place it like so, and take your Allen wrench and start all the screws, all 4 screws. It's very easily done, and for the sake of being a little quicker here with this demonstration, I'll just use a screwdriver. But, you know, into the field or at home, if you don't want to get a special screwdriver, you can really just use that Allen wrench. So it's just loosely tightened. The same with these. Just a little bit so it stays, but it's not tight. Now, if you're left eye dominant or right eye dominant, if you're a right eye dominant, right-handed, your right eye will be looking through this scope. The red dot scope will appear on this side. If you're left eye dominant or left-handed, all you have to do is switch it to this side. Your red dot scope will be here. Your left dominant eye will be looking through your scope. All that's left now is to set the distance between these two to match your eyeballs, the distance between your eyes. And we will get to that in more detail when we finish the detailed section of mounting it. Okay? So if you need some more help with it, go to that section. All right.